Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to a very spontaneous video that is done as early as 1 o'clock in the morning. The humidity is just through the roof. It's still so goddamn hot. Now for making the video, for having some decent audio quality, by high standards, I have to turn off the ventilator, which is kind of a death sentence within 30 minutes. I want to present you the TAR 152 H-1, a plane that I haven't flown in a long time. I received a lot of messages, dude, you have to play this plane, it's fantastic. But what this plane is some unpolished raw turd. It is such a broken mess, but you still get kills. And you get funny kills, and I just finished having an ace gameplay. It's the same old story over again. But I think the gameplay that I have is just, it shows so really, in such an awesome way, that this thing is so goddamn broken, that it is so goddamn weird. Kills that you think you make for sure, you miss. Okay, the weird thing about this flight model is the instructor just letting the plane jump around, and then the rudder locks up and you just move sideways, but you don't want to, and then you think, I can't make the kill, that the plane doesn't have this performance, and then the plane just moves because you just jumped over a certain speed, and then the plane flight model changes rapidly, not just like okay, it goes better. No, it's like, I'm a turd, and then whoopsie daisy, I'm a zero. And managing the flaps, it needs speed, and then not too much, and then it wobbles around, and then it's uncontrollable. Then you make a loop and it's so good, and then you make a second loop and it's like a brick. It's so unpredictable, it's so unreliable. The margin of error that you can have in this plane is so small, and yet you get the kills, yet you can farm the allies. It's the same old story. I've talked about this in a lot of videos, but I think I have the gameplay and the response that when I fly some of the German's aircraft, they're just so weird. They just make things that no other aircraft in the game make. Sometimes you have to feel it. As I mentioned before, it switches from I'm a heavy bomber to snap-de-doodly-doo, I'm a zero, whoop-de-doo. My brain hurts so much with those broken flight models. It is incredible. Now, people might get triggered, people might misunderstand this, and people think that I'm saying that the planes are absolutely terrible and bad. They are overall not bad if you make a direct comparison in terms of climb rate and dive speed and maximum speed, and at which point you can still deploy the flaps. The planes they might get good results, but in the actual battle where you need to correct your aim, where you need just follow a plane through a turn to make the final last adjustments to make sure that the shells hit, and then just you get those random rudder lockups, the plane just behaves unpredictable, it's very sluggish, it reacts late to control inputs, and that has nothing to do with the packet loss, nothing to do with the ping, nothing to do with my PC, something like else. It happened on all the PCs that I ever had, and I never had this kind of behavior with any other airplane in the game. So, without further ado, I want to show you the ace gameplay that I had, and without further ado, let's move there. Let's see what it is. So here we are in the TAR. It's a fantastic looking plane, and I want to hunt bombers first. So let's see what we can do about this. Are those fire ants, or are this American AAA farming attackers and interceptors? I think they are fire ants, right? And German fighters are stepping on them. Oops. So, the first thing is, there are some weird things going on. And, it's very late at night. I'm so frustrated at times with the plane, but at the same time, I'm amazed. I'm amazed how broken things can be in War Thunder. and still, you know, people defending it. That's the thing. Look, here is a Lincoln. I just want to go upside down, and what the hell was the instructor doing with my plane? That was a perfect rudder lockup. That was so broken. You cannot even properly attack a kill, or you cannot attack a bomber and kill it where you know exactly where it's going. No, no, no. You have to do it in a very long run. You have to just move the elevator up. You must not fly upside down. So that kill was how it's supposed to be. Okay, it was the perfect execution of a bomber that doesn't shoot back, that you saw coming, that was flying in a straight line. You have 20 millimeters and 30 millimeters with a lot of ammunition. There are mine shells. The kill on the B-17 was how it should be if you have those circumstances, like the enemy is flying in a straight line. Now let's have a look at what comes up next. And it's really this unpredictable behavior. At some point, suddenly the plane just locks up and does weird things, okay? So here I need to go into the energy fight, and look how much of a brick it is. I cannot even stall. I cannot even do a proper hammerhead. It's like trapped in the flight and in the instructor. Now, my luck here was that we both couldn't aim for shit, but at some point, you know, some of my shells actually hit home. But the weird turn was that the Spitfire had such an easy time coming up, and I just would not turn. I would not turn. Every other plane in the game would be able to make a sharper turn, you know. And at the last moment, I see the F4F. Now I have a little bit of a damaged wing, but in contrast to some other damaging hits, I don't really feel it. Now I try to stall him out, and could you fucking please stall out, you goddamn UFO? And look at this, how I fight this damn shit plane. How I have to manually hammer in the rudder, and how it just wobbles all over the place. Yes, this is at low speed, I know, but it randomly happens to me at higher speed as well. And look at this, how it jumps around. This is completely broken, unnatural, and just absolutely unacceptable. End of discussion. No other plane in the game does this, except other Focke-Wulfs and Bf-109s. This is what I was complaining about. Here I have a bit of a lag spike, and this is the fact that you need to distinguish this. Now, people are smart, and they are like, you must not get into this position, you must not do this and that. Well, the matter of the fact is, that's not always possible in a plane. That's not always possible when the enemy outclimbs you or just is in a better spot. And I'm talking here about a fully upgraded, a completely fully upgraded plane. This is not stock performance. This is look at this, how it's so sluggish now. Now it's so sluggish. And then, even at 7Gs, my fully upgraded pilot blackens out. German pilots just blacken out much earlier at the same skill level with the same Gs applied to them. I'm sorry, this is how it feels. Oh, you have 8 Gs. Look at this, I'm not doing anything. The plane just rolls around like a BTD at higher speeds. Sometimes it feels like this, then it turns, now it turns again. But you then lose a lot of speed doing this. It's just so... It's painful. It's painful to feel the response from planes like this that are years in the game. After patches and updates and flight model changes and all those things. And I'm out of words. Literally, I'm out of words. What could it be? Is it kind of some of my controls? But then again, it just applies to TARs and to Bf-109s. And look at this. Which plane couldn't make the kill? That's the other question. I was now killing an 82. I've been killed by 82s and 84s that actually climbed because I could not really make the difference to them. And it's just that the enemies very often do strange things, and it's very predictable what they do. Now I have kind of some speed, and I was very lucky here with the turn. And now I knew that there was a Bf-109 behind me, and I then tried to bait this F4U, because if this F4U-7 pilot would be really good, he could have killed us both. I know the F4U-7, it's such an absolute monster. Except if you put the SNEB rockets on it, then it's completely trash. But yeah, this is the status. This plane in a 1 versus 1 is very often just too sluggish, just too unpredictable. And it's again down to the errors that the enemy makes, the easiness that he lets you kill you. That's the thing. So now let's just jump over or cut it and go from where I go back to the airfield, land, repair, and then climb again. So I literally cut out now 6-7 minutes, and I actually was on my way to the airfield of the enemy team when then I just got a glimpse of this SO-8000. This is actually a guy that knows me, and in this battle, in this particular battle, he actually sent me a message, and it just happened to be that he was one of the last surviving enemies. And look at this, now the plane behaves like it should behave. It's a bit strange, but I still can make it. And then this happens. Then I can make that kill? How? Then suddenly the frame of where you can make movements at certain speeds is just bigger than usual. And this happens without any well, sort of warning, without any sort of indication. And that is just the broken part about those planes. And this is kind of a video where I just make it after I played the battle. Why? Because at some point I need to vent off, and I want to show this to people that disagree with me. And sometimes, and I had this very interesting conversation with somebody that was just having a misunderstanding with me. Sometimes I miss the words, sometimes I just express it in a not so easy to understand way for others. What I want to say is that person was not very impressed when I told him, look, the TAR 152 is not very good. That was what I stated. And at the end he agreed that the plane is not very good, but it fits the meta. Okay, and I think you could put any sort of replacement for this plane in the game as long as there is a German tag on it. As long as you are within the German team, you're doing well, you're doing fine. You could replace this flight model with, I don't know, anything else. At that battle rating it would perform even better. Results: 102,000 silver lines and 6,664 modification research points. The survivor medal, 3,515 score points for a clear ace. No kill assists, no ground units, nothing. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you saw what I want to show you, how unpredictable and how strange those planes are. Yes, you can get kills, but sometimes it's really weird. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video nevertheless. We'll see each other in the skies of War Thunder.